Hey Deckers, and welcome to Strayed Lights, or as I like to call it, the ultimate parry trainer, and you'll see why in just a second. This gorgeous little game is fantastic for the Steam Deck, and a huge thanks to Home Run PR for providing us a code so we could check this one out. There are two different modes that you have to constantly switch between of fire and ice, and watch out for the purple. But this game is all about attacking, blocking and parrying, and you've got to make sure that you parry the right attack for the right color. So you will never be able to parry blue versus red, for example. You will need to parry red to red, blue to blue, and your enemies will switch on a whim. And for bigger enemies, you will need to learn those attack patterns as well. So it does take a bit of getting used to, but the controls are extremely snappy. And one of the things that you are going to want to get out of this is the best response times. So we'll go through the best settings for this as well. Unfortunately, this is a bit more demanding on the Steam Deck than we would like for this sort of game. However, we can get the most out of this by keeping the AMD Fidelity FX Super Resolution 2 on quality. If we turn this off even on the medium graphics, which is the best middle ground to play this with, it does drop below 60 even when we are out of the fights. And you would have seen in that beginning section that even in the fights it does dip down into the 50 range quite often. But even running around, it can't hold 60 frames per second without that DLSS mode. So you are going to want that. And in those battles, you are going to want the best response time possible. So although 60 frames per second uncapped does eat the power a little bit more, pushes it up between 24 and 27 depending on the environment, it definitely feels much snappier by keeping the cap up at 60 so that you've got the best possible response time as you can. If you bring this down to a 30 FPS cap after playing at that 60 uncapped, it's got a noticeable delay and it makes it so much more difficult to hit those combos and hit those parries. So I do not recommend capping this one at 30, although capping the Steam Deck at 40 does give you the best of both worlds and the slightly better response time and better power draw. I do feel that keeping this uncapped is actually the better way to go, so that you can get that ultimate response time even at the expense of a bit more power draw. If you're out for a longer period of time, then maybe I would actually suggest that you cap this at 50 Hz to keep a consistent frame rate and also the better response time as well. Let us know in the comments below if you're going to pick this one up. It is a fantastic little game, and if you do want to get used to your roguelites without too much punishment, then this will definitely get you into that genre and get you working on your dodge and parries. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Hey Deckers, and welcome to Strayed Lights. 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 Strayed Lights.